Etsy and a lot of these Etsy gurus on YouTube are lying to you. They promise you financial freedom and passive income, but the truth is far from it. It's actually a trap, and it's a trap with an outcome that you cannot control. Let me explain this. These idiots at Etsy, they don't care about you. To them, you're just a number. You're likely watching this channel here and following me because you want to break free of the 9 to 5, that rat race. You're looking for that financial freedom. You're tired of living paycheck to paycheck. So you think you want to start a side hustle, maybe make some money on the side. Hopefully that turns into something more profitable, something that you can actually get out of that cycle. And if you're doing that, good for you if you're doing that. So you start looking on the internet, start to Google what you could do to make these side hustle. And eventually you're gonna stumble on YouTube videos and stuff about people telling you how to make money on Etsy, promising you all this, telling you you can sell print on demand items, digital product, etc. I'm telling you don't. I'm not telling you not to do it on a side hustle, I'm telling you not to do it on Etsy. Because the reason for this, Etsy can and will ban you for no reason at all, with no explanation. It doesn't matter if you sell $1, and it doesn't matter if you sell $100,000 a year with them. This is not just some random guy on the internet telling you this. This is me being part of 3 multi-million-dollar startup, starting multiple LLC myself in my career. I'm telling you, these guys are lying to you. Now, not every single one of these gurus are fake, but most of them are. And it's not that Etsy doesn't work, it's that I don't want you to waste your time on it. And I found this out for myself when I decided to try it. Let me tell you a quick story about me getting banned on Etsy. Now you may think I'm just another disgruntled Etsy seller that got banned from Etsy and that's why I'm making this video. The truth is far from it. It's not the fact that I got banned that I cared about. It's the fact that how it was handled and why that is more important. So if you're following this channel, you know that I'm starting this YouTube channel to document my journey through starting another business. And one of the things I've been doing lately is I've been creating a lot of forms, templates, things like that, spreadsheets that kind of help make the small business endeavor smoother. Why not sell everything that I'm making, right? I was thinking of pricing it from $3 to $5, which is a really good price considering the amount of time you're gonna save. Trigger, it's a win-win situation for me, it's a win-win situation for you. So I created an Etsy account, linked my bank account, linked my credit card, did the description, filmed some mock-up videos, started to do a few more of these digital products. Before I listed them, I went to bed. Woke up the next morning, I was banned on Etsy. So I didn't receive a message or anything from Etsy. I just got banned. And if you go to the store manager dashboard or whatever on Etsy, they tell you to check your email or check your messages on the reason why you got banned. I didn't get any of that. So what I did is I filed an appeal. And as you can see here, I filed an appeal. I was generally nice about it. I'm like, hey, this is my first time selling Etsy. At least it's my first product. I read the rules and policy. I don't see that I violated. Can you let me know what I did wrong? Within 1 minute of me filing my appeal, and you can see on the timestamp of this thing, Etsy reply. Now, the Etsy website said it could take 10 days to get a response from an appeal. I got this in 1 minute. Etsy stated that they reviewed my case and that their decision stand, and they consider this matter final, and they would not respond to any more communication about my account status. And they wish me the best of luck in my future endeavor. Dude, I know a copy and paste when I see one, right? And I know when someone didn't take the time to even do their job. So if you don't know why this is bad, let me tell you. If you Google people getting banned from Etsy for no reason or no notification, you're gonna see a ton of hits, right? You're even gonna see YouTube videos of this happening to people. People that have established stores that were selling for years or making a living off this. People that are crying on this YouTube video. It is pretty bad and it is pretty brutal. And if you're making a living off this and this is your livelihood, for Etsy to mess with you, that's not cool, man. And let me tell you a story about this. A few years out of college, I started working for this big global company. And there's some global crisis, pandemic, who knows what was going on, right? I don't know, it was the bird flu, the swine flu, the cold flu, whatever it was. It wasn't COVID. It was way before that. I was given the task to answer this question. What is the minimum amount of workforce needed to keep the company running? I spent a few weeks, wrote my report, did some research, right? Wrote my report, gave it to my boss. I wanted him to look it over before I sent it up to the C-suites, right? I want to make sure what I'm doing is right. My boss took a look at it, gave it back to me, told me to redo the numbers. They're wrong. I'm Asian, right? So I'm assuming my math is solid. So I have no idea what was wrong with this thing. I'm lying to you. I'm actually very bad at math. So I had this puzzled look on my face. I'm like, why is this wrong? Like, he spent 5 minutes looking at this. So he got up from his desk, closed the door, and he sat back down. He looked me straight in the eye, and I will never forget this lesson. He said, those are people out there in the hallways. They're not numbers. And what you're doing now is to solve this problem that the company has. But what you're doing is you're giving them ammunition for massive future layoffs. Go back, run these numbers, come up with a much lower number, but it is still believable. And he says, when you're running these numbers and you're coming in this number, start to think, These are not numbers. These are people's jobs. It's their lives. It's their livelihood. It's what they live off of. It's how they afford to put food on the table, and it's how they afford to pay their bills. And you have to keep that in mind. These people are not numbers. A week later, I wrote a new report. About a year or two later, the company had a massive layoff globally. Everyone was hit hard. The department that was hit had the fewest layoff was the department that I ran the numbers on. Because what they did was they used our numbers as ammunition, and my boss is right, for future massive layoff. And it's an important lesson that I learned that day, and it's a lesson that I carried through with me in my entire career as I move up the corporate ladder. These are people. These are not numbers. You need to treat them with respect. These idiots at Etsy has not learned that lesson. They don't care about you. To them, you're just a number. And that's very important because there's no overnight success, right? You may have all of a sudden heard of a company or a business or influencer or something, and you think, wow, they just blew up overnight. That's not true. If you look at every single one of these businesses, every single one of these influencers, these guys have been grinding away for years. If you don't believe me, go look at other big YouTube stars. Go look at all their videos and sort it from the oldest to the newest. And you'll see that they started their first video 5 years ago, 7 years ago, 9 years ago, constantly uploading. And businesses are the same way. No business is overnight success. It takes grinding and years of grinding. Now, why is this important? This is important because you don't get any experience from Etsy. So what I mean by that is, if you work a 9-to-5 job, a regular job, and you did it for a few years, and then all of a sudden you lose your job for whatever reason, you at least on your resume have an experience that you could write for your next job. So your next employer will be like, oh, he has a few years experience doing this. I know I could trust this guy, I'll hire him. If you work on, being an influencer, getting big on YouTube, Instagram, you have a following, you are that brand. You could leverage that brand to another platform. And you could always take that and build something out of that. Your audience will follow you, right? At Etsy, you get none of that. And if you don't believe me, think about this. Think about the last item you bought from Etsy. What was the name of the store that you bought it from? Who did you buy it from? You have no idea. You won't know while even looking it up. And that's my point. Once Etsy bans you, and they ban these, successful big accounts that have been selling and making thousands for years of them, you poof, gone. Years wasted and you have nothing to show for it. So let me give you some hard number. This is based on the 2023 Etsy Investor Report. It's 150 page long. You don't want to read 150 page and you don't know how to read a financial statement? You're in luck, because I know how to do it and I did it. In 2023, Etsy reported revenue of $2.7 billion. But what they did report in 2022, and this is not in the 2023 report, is that the average seller makes $2,169 annually. So it's been said that, the most popular store in Etsy and the successful stores are the ones that have 100 or more products. All right, so let's assume you spent an hour to make a mock-up, a video, things like that for your product, to list a description, to just kind of list it, right? And you have 100 products. So 2,169 divided by 100 is 21.69. You're making $21.69 an hour. Now, that's not including tax, which will take about 30%, 40% off that. And that's not including benefits, right? But you doing this for Etsy, you get no medical, no dental, no nothing in the US. There's no 401k, there's no pension, there's nothing. So that $21 an hour that you think you're making is actually less than minimum wage. At least with minimum wage, you get all that benefit. You get nothing from this. And you could always argue, now look, I'm different from these people. I am gonna hustle and I'm gonna be successful. I'm gonna make $100,000 a year on Etsy. That's great. But what's gonna stop them from banning you overnight? That's the question I'm raising to you guys. You're essentially a worker bee to them. And the worst part is they really don't care about you. And they should, because you should be considered employees. When you're running a business and you're starting a company, yes, the customer is always right, and you gotta treat the customer with respect. But do you know who you need to take care of more? You need to take care of your employees. These are the guys that are out there grinding it for you, that are on the trenches, that are making you money. They need to be taken care of. And Etsy certainly don't care about you. And they probably don't care about the employee based on the way my interaction with this one employee. Within 1 minute saying I was banned, thank you, best of luck in your future endeavor. Did you even look at my case? Did you even tell me why I got banned? You didn't. So if you're feeling down about this video, and I apologize, right? That you had this high hopes trying to make money on Etsy and you're a startup and you feel bad about, watch this video that I made over here about depression as an entrepreneur. It'll help you out. Or here, I'm not sure where YouTube is gonna post it. Best of luck out there, guys.